You decided to come here instead of hang out on the phone and talk to a girl, right? Oh, you didn't think we were going to get into that. On our 23 Yamaha W. Oh, and can you put an avatar of my cat?
What's that motion button?
That's so helpful.
In my XR.
You should start a podcast like me, because I just tell you what I think and it doesn't matter. Sure hope this works. Hey, guess what? Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, and Logan's back. The intro was correct. Hopefully this is hopefully everything's working. Let us know if our sound's not working, which would be typical. Let us know if the cameras blow up, which would be typical. And you can ask your questions in the chat. The higher the socks, the downer the fool.
The higher the socks, the downer the fool.
That's a cholo,
Yeah,
Tyler.
I like that.
That's some. I want to run my shorts a little bit lower, my white socks a little higher. It's just culture. It's where I grew up.
Yeah, that's where you.
Thanks everybody for joining us. If you're just joining us, this is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where we talk about motorcycles and motorcycle related products. I'm with one of my original co-hosts, Logan. Tyler, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Yeah. So, heard you've been busy.
A little bit.
Little bit.
Little racing.
Little racing. I heard you've been slaying it.
Apparently.
And riding motorcycles too.
Yep.
Good. Yep. So I was really surprised you decided to come here instead of hang out on the phone and talk to a girl. Right? Oh, you didn't think we were going to get into that. Hey, this is the show where we talk about motorcycles. And of course, we like to call him Logan's dad. He'll do all the token. This is Jimmy Tyler. So it's another two Jimmy show. Big John came on last time. He's really proud that he seems to get us higher ratings.
Oh,
it's noticeable.
His show's been good.
Yeah. He chats it up. He brings up he asked me really good questions.
I see his notes here.
Yeah. Well, are those John's notes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you can ask those questions, because evidently last time he didn't. But of course, this show is brought to you by some of our favorite sponsors. I was going to try to add some sponsor logos on the thing, but I don't really have them all set up right now. But it's Yamaha, of course. Blue Crew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I haven't ridden my Yamaha enough lately. I've been riding some other stuff, but Yamaha Blue Crew. They didn't do as good at the motocross races last weekend. It was a lot of red bikes up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Red bikes got starts in that altitude, huh?
Yeah. Which is really strange.
I know.
I mean, this like usually that's a. I remember when, like in the motocross racing, I remember especially in the 250 class, it was just Pro Circuit Kawasaki's everywhere anytime it came to power.
Sure. And
then when Yamaha got the new engine and got that thing figured out, you never saw a turn without 5 Yamahas in the front.
Oh, no.
And now it seems like it's really pretty even. You kind of don't know. It's week to week and stuff. But if you want the most powerful 4-strokes, Blue Crew. Even if you're at altitude, because you have the Power Tuner app and then you can fix everything. So they probably just didn't do the Power Tuner app quite. Well, they don't use stock ones. That's the problem.
I know. I was going to say,
They use those race ECUs. Also, we get support from Climb, Bulletproof Designs, DDC Sprockets. Hold up that awesome Bulletproof Designs.
That's one of my favorite motorcycle parts.
The balsa wood. Part. Yeah, the balsa wood front disc protector. It's a joke they played on me. And we are hoping that also my bartender shows up tonight and serves some brand new tequila that I picked up the other day. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, and we're also hoping for a tech support call from some of the people that help us out with this show, because we use these Mevo cameras, which is Logitech. And if you know anything, we've been having lots of technical difficulties here, mostly because I am in charge of all this stuff. And they said they said they could help me. So we're going to see how that goes tonight. But still 0 drop frames. That's really good. And I don't know. I'm kind of surprised and happy. But Jesse, Gent has a question, Logan. What does he want to know?
How big is the difference between a 250 XCW and a 300 XCW? I hear the 250 is more work and can't be lugged as easy as the 300. Is that true? Sometimes the 250s are on sale, and I consider it over the 300.
So this is the ongoing question. Have this all the time. I mean, from back when their first thing was a 300 two-stroke, they were just known for being just more torquey. And interesting, we just talked about the Beta 350 two-stroke motocross bike, and we'll probably get into that. So there's like this point where when you go like with a two-stroke motor, when they're small displacements, they're I don't know. It's just 250, 300, you start losing the ability to rev. And like, that's why they stopped making 500s and you know, you hear about these 500 and 700 two strokes. They rev progressively less and less.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this kind of this happy zone, it seems, around 250, 300, where you can, like 300 is like where you go 350 and they really suffer on revving. But there's a noticeable difference between 250 and 300 in torque as well. Like that 350 will have torque.
Well, still.
And so that's like kind of, like I always call it the kind of the happy spot. But can you lug a 250? Oh yeah. Especially the new fuel injected bikes. So more so than the carbureted bikes, the 250s, they don't pick up as well. Like when they're lugging and you turn the throttle, they don't pick up like a 300 does, but it lugs. And that's the thing. Are you using that torque to accelerate, or are you using RPM to accelerate? In other words, if you really wanted to accelerate, would you downshift and then accelerate, as opposed to a 300 where you wouldn't downshift, you just roll it on? Because if a 300 you downshift, it revs too much, and then it basically spins, or it's up in the RPM enough to where it works. Look at that, John Perkins. Mm-hmm. Not here. Hey, John, if you want to come down and pour us some tequila shots, you could be the bartender. See if you can help this episode along.
That is the big bore savant right there.
Yeah. So, and the other thing that's really interesting that we used to do all the time is a lot of times the manufacturers, and this is KTM specific really, although Beta was a little bit the same, manufacturers tune through the electronics, and that was the ECU. They tune the bike to run properly. And a lot of times if you put a 300 jug on a 250, it got peppier, you know, and so there was a lot of tuning we used to do where we were running, sometimes, believe it or not, smaller carbs on the 300s. And that would make them way more responsive. And then the 250 ECUs and stuff. So lots of different things. But if you, and Jesse says, if you ride a 250 XC with a Recluse clutch, it's fine. I used to have Recluse clutches in my KTM 200s. So the good thing is the Recluse clutch will teach you how to lug it. And once you're up, what is it, about 3,000 RPM, that clutch is sort of locked up. Yeah. So what is Rowan Treffs?
Hey guys, if you want to ask me any questions about the DBT 2025 EC 450F or the Glen Helen 10-hour, let me know.
That's exactly the bike you ran, Logan.
Yeah.
Wait.
24.
You have a 24 and he has a 25.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they the same?
Yeah.
B&Gs.
B&G.
Yeah.
So yours has a lot, probably a lot more scratches on it than his does.
Chances are. And I have no app. So
you don't have an app.
Yeah. The 24s aren't able to hook up to the app while the 25s are.
Okay. So
I think.
So Rowan, did Trevor get you a bike? Is that one? Was he one of Trevor's guys?
I saw the post on DBT.
Okay. I don't look at the social medias that much.
But you should ask him maybe about, because that bike has I think it has the XC silencer on it.
Yeah, something.
Your bike's lacking a little top end.
Ours is?
His is.
Oh, his.
Yours Rowan's has the I think it has the silencer off the XC.
Okay. So then they did change
how
it.
They call it the XC and
So it is different.
No, I think he's changed it.
Yeah. So Bill O'Neill, what's up? What's up? What's up?
No, I think he changed it.
He did something to it.
I don't think it's a stock pipe on it. I think it is a stock KTM.
It is.
And what did Trevor ride, by the way?
Husky 300, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay, and what was he doing? Was he was doing some testing? He was just trying to get a bike that he didn't have to wash after the race, looking for free parts. What was Trevor doing? We don't know. That's why we like to call him on the show.
It's Trevor.
And figure out what's happening.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
That's
The
what
person you're trying to reach is not available.
That's
the tone.
That's exactly what Trevor does when he knows it's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday time, because he doesn't want. So Rowan, did Trevor put you up to coming on the show and trying to, make it so he didn't have to work? Because the guy seems pretty adverse to doing work. So yeah. Text here. Do you know this guy? You text him and text. Got to get his. I would say we could put Rowan on the phone. We could get it all figured out. Tell Trevor to text me your number or something like that.
How come he's not showing up on my feed?
We probably weren't supposed to start the show till 7:00, so we're early. So Trevor's probably in bed or something like that.
Trevor went with the Husky R&D team.
Okay. I knew he was doing something, but I didn't know exactly what it was.
And it was a 300.
Yeah. So, okay. What was it? Oh, we were going to talk about Beta 350. I wanted to talk about that. Like, they announced a 350 two-stroke motocross bike. And I think it's just, Beta, like, they're all about like rideability. That's always been one of their slang. And for a vet motocross rider, I think that's a really good option. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I thinking it was aimed at vets, because first thing Logan said, well, it's not going to fit in any class. I go, it fits in every vet class. Yeah.
It doesn't fit in a class. Open class. Like, what's 450?
But they fit in every vet class or age class, whatever you call them.
Yeah. It would fit in the 450 class.
Okay.
Oh, wait, maybe it doesn't, because it's 252 stroke is I think the rule. Yeah.
Stroke, yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. They needed.
Is it time to dump that, in your opinion, and just go like the 450 classes that open, run an Alta, run a Varg, run a 352 stroke?
Well, it depends on where you're racing and what you're
local motocross. How about that? Maybe leave the AMA nationals out of it.
Yeah.
But
I have
any local Glen Helen on a.
Yeah, I don't care.
Don't you think it's time? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, it's just I don't
know. I'm not a motocrosser at all.
So I like run what you brung. I really like that. And then I don't mind when it's kind of the if there was a bike that was just better than everything else, then everybody will gravitate towards that and ride it, and then everybody else will up their game. Then you make a class that doesn't allow it.
Then you outlaw that.
Yeah, or the other manufacturers. Yeah, I mean, you hear people complaining about Stark Varg because they have 80 horsepower on the start, and I'm like, I don't know anybody who can use 80 horsepower. Go ahead and give it to them.
Do they make a knobby that can do that?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just going to spin. I mean, the guys that get 80 horse, if they really are truly using it, and I've ridden one, so I don't know, but the guys that are really truly using 80 horsepower are spinning.
Yeah. I
like
would hope so.
A tire will take, you hear at the nationals about the pro racers, they're just working on these start maps. They have these start maps and they're working on tuning their clutch so they can come off the gate and all this stuff like that. So it's like, you don't need 80 horsepower. Nobody needs 80 horsepower. I mean, it's fun. That's why I ride. You just go get a Tenere, Yamaha Tenere. By the way,
they got that.
Yamaha sponsor of this show. And so just when you want an adventure bike, just go down the new 25 Tenere. They're here. They're around. They're out. I need to get one. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the chat on up there so you can see it in the show. So this show, by the way, we do this live, usually every week if I can figure out how to turn the buttons on. And you can ask questions in the chat and we will answer 9 out of 10 without referring to a reference manual. And then you get an instant answer from people that we have sponsors, but we don't answer our questions with all of our sponsors' information usually, unless you ask me, like Jesse asked me, he was asking about the 253. I should have said, you should have just get a Yamaha YZ250X. And then you would have the best two-stroke ever known to man, because it has a Kickstarter and a carburetor and it's simple And if that's what you're looking for, then good. So, okay. That's it. Then we've answered all the questions tonight. I guess we can go home. Not really. Hey, I have I got to turn the chat off when I do that. I got a question for you, Logan. So Logan, you finished, you did the Glen Helen 10 hour.
Yep.
You rode the Ironman class.
Yes.
And you made the decision to go when?
At about 11 o'clock on Friday before.
So I'm always curious about this. Can you please explain? And that started on Saturday morning at
8 a.m.
8
So it
a.m.
was about 21 hours of prep.
Oh, it was 11 o'clock the night before.
With a 5-hour drive. But
Yeah.
On you made the decision on Thursday night or Friday night?
Friday night. Friday, the daytime.
Oh, Friday in the daytime.
Yeah.
At wait, you
Lunch.
said
11.
lunchtime.
Lunch.
Yeah.
Right. So you ditched work, got off work early.
No, we didn't know that.
You only work till noon.
Yeah, well, we did our standard.
Yeah, standard lunch.
Yeah.
Standard lunch. Leave at lunch. Okay, got that.
Yeah.
Went home. Started prep. Explain your prep for a 10-hour race, because you usually, like I would say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. But you did finish on the podium.
Yes.
Yeah. Although we thought you got fourth, and we were watching me and your dad were
Just didn't wait for me.
me and your dad were having a competition too.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. We were trying to find the best tasting whiskey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same deal. We went there.
Yeah, it was- but we were checking scoring here.
Did you have to have somebody drive you home too?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay. So yeah, same sort of thing. Got it.
Same idea.
Right. So anyways, so explain the bike prep.
Show up with 3 dry air filters, like no oil in them yet, and do it there.
Oil the air filters there.
Yep.
And as an Ironman, you have to understand you can't like have your you would have to do that because you don't have a pit. You have a pit crew, but your pit crew was that ding dong.
Ding dong coop.
Okay, got it.
Cool. Skeleton crew that hobbled around.
Okay.
And oil change, and that was it. No fresh tires, no nothing.
No,
Just that was it.
Yeah, pretty used tires. He did bring his. He doesn't run mooses. He don't like mooses.
No.
How many? No, it's I don't. It's your decision. How many rides were on the tires? I don't remember them being great when I looked at your bike the other day.
They weren't great.
Yeah, no, those were the tires.
Okay.
They had probably 100 miles on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like our chat has died down on the thing. Maybe let me go try to fix it over here. Maybe it's just not showing the whole screen. No, I don't know what's wrong with this thing.
You might not be able to scroll down.
Yeah, something like that. I can't scroll on that one. This one, so because it's not really this one, but yeah, Mark, we're early. Yeah, we 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Yeah, some people have to go to work early in the morning.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Yeah, I have no idea what that's like. I've been getting up early to go work in that.
You better.
Been an electrician. Jeez, it's hot. But I wasn't up on the lift. It gets hot up in the.
Oh, it's hot up there.
Yeah. So little jobs. Okay, so just ride it in. Did you adjust the chain before?
No.
It didn't need it.
No. Still the spec.
Yeah.
And still is.
Uh-huh. How many hours did your bike have out in total?
After this, I think it's at 100.
100 hours.
Yep.
Oh, shouldn't you have to rebuild it or do something like that? Or
It's getting something of that sort.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know.
I think it's time to get a new one.
Yeah. Well, I
That
know.
is a question for later.
Well,
He kind of had the idea.
so we went riding too. Did you hear about we went riding?
I did.
We got
Long
about
time.
half. We got about half of a ride in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Something very typical. Yeah. It's strike two is what I like to call it. Your buddy Link.
Which that leads into a later question and a plan I devised.
Oh, plan? Okay.
Yeah, I got a plan.
Okay.
there is.
I got a plan to cure Logan and Link's problem together.
Let's see. John Perkins has a question or something.
Oh, yeah.
No excuses here. As a recently retired from individual, you could have had an A-tier pit crew with one phone call.
I heard
right there. You should have grabbed him up.
No, I heard. See, this is. I think this is a lie.
Femur.
This is a lie. Yeah,
We could have had one good femur in that pit crew. Or
two. No,
femurs.
because I heard somebody was playing Dressy Bessie, running around his house because he couldn't even come drink whiskeys with us. Yeah, he was busy. So okay, that's it. So there's another thing I wanted to show on the show, and let me see if I can get this thing ready here. There is, that's not that thing. I got to get rid of this thing here. I think I'm done with that, so I can turn it off. We have so somebody sent me, and I'm going to put this up on the screen as if I can get it out of the way of my other. I got too many screens going here. Thought the show was going to blow up. So if we go to this screen over here, this is an interesting product. I want to know what people think of this. So this is a rack system if you have a short bed truck. And
I see the bikes go way up there.
And I want it to play right now. Play. There's probably a button for it someplace around it. I can't see. Here we go. There we go. Play this. Okay. So this is a short bed. Luckily we don't need that. A short bed truck rack system that they showed pictures of, but they never showed a full loading. Now that guy's 6 feet tall, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because when he went up that ramp and then did that step, when those handlebars are up at the top and he did that step up there, that's a long reach. Because the front tire starts going up higher. And then he's got really good balance, by the way, to balance that bike like that.
It's not.
And so this is for if you have like a Raptor or something and want to put the bikes in the back of the truck, or you're towing a trailer and you have to have the tailgate up.
Yeah.
And so anyways, these guys in Utah, they make all kinds of accessories. I will get you the name of the company here in a minute. It's called the Moto ramp. They call it their Moto ramp. And I'm trying to see where, so anyways, so that's all tied up.
You can still haul a trailer now.
Yeah, and
which is a big thing.
Yeah, and so you can do a trailer if you're towing behind towing a trailer behind. Now I'm bringing my thing back here. I can go to the wide shot, fix this. So we got questions as well. So I saw that, and somebody said that's the coolest thing ever. I need one, and I'm like, that seems like a lot of work, and that's like not something a beginner rider is probably gonna want to do. But I was pretty impressed with how he took it and rolled it up there. But anyways, any questions, comments, concerns on that one? So it's the company is Big Days Truck Accessories, and their Instagram handle, or the handle is at Chasing Big Days. If you're interested in that thing, it's one of the interesting things I got sent to me. So tell us what you think about that sucker in the chat. So it was basically a guy.
Doesn't kill your bed too much either.
Loading a motorcycle. Yeah, loading a motorcycle up, and then there's a second ramp that puts the front wheel up on top of the roof. Essentially, it's like another ramp. Like John could do that. Like John could load that up. Well, maybe not in his current condition. It's a big step. So what does Husky Hauler have to say?
I have a 2018 FE 350. If I blip the throttle off idle, it dies. Only modifications is a JD tuner and an in cap screen removed. I plugged the stock wiring into the injector and filled the cylinder with fuel.
I plugged the stock wiring in the injector and it filled this blip the throttle. Okay, that's need more things. So did so you disconnected the JD tuner and plugged it back to stock, and then something bad happened. So it plugged, like I'd say it's like if it filled the cylinder fuel, it sounds like the injector's not closing. So it might be a dirty injector, not really closed off. I don't know. more info, please. Because I don't think the with an end cap screen, a JD tuner is usually a very good complementary modification. And I've never seen those type of tuners go bad, but I've seen them sort of get adjusted without knowing that they were adjusted, like whether someone else did it or the module moved around and it started pushing buttons on itself. So you can always put it back. And the way you can tell if it's doing something or not doing something is if you put the JD tuner every setting at 3, that is stock. Like that's back to stock. So when you set it at 3, it runs just like stock. And you go leaner and richer from there. So if you put it all at 3s, ride it, and then take it out of line, because it interrupts the signal, take it out of line, and the bike doesn't stay the same, then the tuner, there's something wrong with the tuner. Yeah. The tuner's doing something wrong, or at least that's been my experience in the past. And so, and Jesse G for that loading ramp deal says, remember how this works, Logan?
Yeah.
I wish I had a whiskey or tequila to taste, but
I use the Ultimate MX Hauler.
I got that.
You got that?
That is hitch mounted, cool rack that lowers to the ground and raises up with a bottle jack. The company went out of business, I believe.
So I've had one of those. They were always a little kind of sketchy, but you can't use that because your trailer hitch. I mean, if you have a short bed truck or an SUV or something like that, and you put it on the back, for sure. At that point, yeah, that's a good way to do it. But if you're towing a trailer, it doesn't work. And then I've seen people put them on the front as well. And I put bikes in the front of my Lance camper. And when it gets really hot, I got to turn your mics down for this. Not mine, yours. Yeah, you want, it's like crackling. Remember, it's a podcast. It's supposed to have good sound. It's a good sound for us. But when, yeah, well, sometimes when you have I'm going to turn it on when it starts going glug, glug, glug. Yeah, but only we're just starting with a sampler here. Okay, here we go.
Oh, I'm doing.
You can hear it.
I'm doing that perfect.
Yeah. I'll take that one immediately. Okay. Husky Hauler, what does he say?
Correct. That runs with JD tuner, just dies off, idles, stock ECU, doesn't work without JD tuner.
So this whiskey, well, I think about the answer to the question is, it was recommended to me, El Padrino Blanco. Yeah. So it's mine went empty already. I'm sorry. It was.
Oh, did it have a hole in it?
Yeah, it had a hole in it. Yeah. Okay. So something is wrong. Where is your JD tuner set on the low RPM settings? So is it a lot richer than stock, or is it standard? Like I'm wondering if the fuel injector is plugged, and then you're able to compensate with a longer opening duration. So, you're richening up, and it's actually the injector being plugged is kind of your thing, because it should run pretty good. It would be kind of lean, but it should run pretty good with the stock injector, even with an open end cap. So, yeah, El Padrino. I thought it wasn't bad.
I like it.
Yeah, this glass. It's if you look at how fake the bottom is in this glass.
Oh, I do see that.
Yeah, so it wasn't like I just slugged that thing down.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So Malcolm, let me ask you about hauling in and stuff, because you seem to get all this stuff right, and you don't have a van. Now, I've recently mostly switched to a van.
Wait,
I don't think I'm ever going back.
Wait, okay, hold on. You switched to a van, except you're driving a nice Dodge, whatever they call that thing.
Right, but well, I had 3 trucks going: a work truck, a dually for hauling, and a van for moto.
Okay.
So I've cut it down to got rid of the dually, got rid of the work truck.
Now you have a race truck,
yeah,
and a van.
And a van.
Got it.
So, but I've never seen you with a van or heard of you having a van or what?
I have a motorhome.
Yeah,
big ass
That's
motorhome.
one big ass.
It's a big van.
Yeah,
It's a big ass van.
Yeah.
So I need 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
So I need 4-wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive vans.
4-wheel drive in a van
it's hard to get
doable, but it's hard
to get 4-wheel drive in a van. But then there's there's all-wheel drive sprinters and stuff like that there, but they're built out of tinfoil.
I know no, I'm with you. That was going to be my guess that you wouldn't do it because they're 4-wheel drive. Well, technically, it's doable. It's not really good 4-wheel drives.
Yeah, it's not like
they're not a good 4-wheel drive
because I end up because I use my truck for going places and I drag my dirt bikes in the middle of nowhere, and then I do other things where I need to drive my trucks in the middle of nowhere. And
I think that's maybe what I don't do.
And I really enjoy driving my truck places that I shouldn't, like Jeep trails and things like that. I like to see where I can take my truck. I'm no Chris Ridgway. You know Chris Ridgway, Rubber Heels, good friend of mine. He has 4-wheel drive van. They do that stuff at Moab, and they go try to do Rubicon trails in their vans. And he's always posting stuff on if I knew his Instagram or something like that. Yeah, they're out smashing vans and on crazy angles and everything like that. You know who was a big van life guy? Preston Campbell.
I know.
Did you ever see his minivan?
Yes, I did. I remember he had it at the cabin, and he stuffed a 450 in there.
He had two bikes in there. Yeah, and it still had a place to sleep, and it was like this. What was that? A small?
It was like a soccer mom van, man.
But an express. It was like It's the one that the electronics repair guy drive. You know what I mean? It's that smaller thing, and he had to pull the forks down to get the bikes to go in.
Smash the bike down.
Yeah, and he had a way of putting all of his stuff, and then he could pull some stuff out, put a cot in there,
he had it set up.
And good. He's factory now. I
think he's upgraded a little bit now.
Yeah, he's got the Ford Transit van. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a million ways to, and for a while, my going exploring, like I'll call it fair weather exploring, was my Dodge Ram 4x4 with the rooftop tent.
Yeah.
So I had an easy on rooftop tent. This is back before every Jeeper
had it.
Yeah, every Jeeper had it. Everybody thought I didn't know what it was. I just told them it was a giant pizza delivery box. We did a story on it in Dirt Rider magazine. We did a kind of a hauler story on there. And then
the first one I ever seen was one.
Yeah, and then I run a amp bed extender. So the tailgate, so I can put the tailgate down.
Yeah.
I rarely tow things because in California you don't want to tow anything. When I was there, you got to go slow. And so I had the bed extender, and then I could open that tent with the bike still in the back, and it only took me about 5 minutes to get it open and literally be asleep. And then since it's 4-wheel drive, I can drive off into the forest or off out of sight and just bam, have a tent.
Okay, so it was better camping rig than
off the ground, no bugs, but you have no camping stuff. It really,
it's a tent. Yeah.
I had a really good cooler, and I would carry water and gas and have everything I need to stay out in the sticks for 4 days, 3 days if I needed to. So van would have been cool, but I always think I'd get stuck, and I don't know.
I'm one rainstorm away from wrecking my day or something, it's true.
But in reality, you think about all the times, how many times do you really go?
I don't. I generally get right off the road and on the dirt bike.
Yeah. How often do you?
And I don't get the time that you do to go disappear for however long you go. So there's that.
Just 2 days. That's it.
A little better than that, but
let's see. Dirt bike tests Google rankings have fallen 5.45%.
Sons of gun.
Oh, let's see. It's not like the guy last week. The guy last week, he told me, he said, hey, I can help you earn 3.5 million or something like that. And the reason he found out about us, he says, my girlfriend liked your site. And I'm like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So I sent him a reply. I never heard back. He can do an in-depth analysis of my backlink opportunities. Is that your girlfriend, Logan?
No, I'm looking at where he is.
Oh, see if he's a real office. That's good. That's good investigative work right there. Logan, you're up on it. Bro. What about a collab with Tozo? Hi, I hope you're doing well. I'm Lucy from Tozo, and we'd love to invite you to collaborate on our popular Tozo lightweight Bluetooth earbuds. Oh, we're the perfect collab for that because I like earbuds or something like that. And I wonder where does it tell me where they're going to send me a free set so I can talk about them? Just send them.
You need a control scroll on your email.
A control scroll.
Just shrink that thing. What did Beta email you?
Racing results.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're not trying to give me a free bike or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Hey, we have Rooster Endo, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring on our first Rooster Endo right now, just because I want to, I like to keep a really strict format on this show. And since we only have one, why'd you look at me like that?
Always has been.
Yeah, since day one. This is a Trent Zimmerman's Rooster Endo bike. I think I can actually. I actually put it in the file. It's on the thing. So
it's already in here.
Yeah, it's in there. So you're gonna read what it is. I'm gonna get the picture up here. Can you read that?
It's a 1991 KTM 300D XC. There's no mods unless you count rebuilt water pump and handguards. This was my father's bike, which he bought from Desert Racing in southern Utah. At the time, he thought he was upgrading his 85 YZ250, but to this day he says he prefers the
Okay,
YZ.
that sounds like complete he's just blowing Yamaha smoke at us because he knows that this podcast is brought to you by Yamaha. But Rooster Endo is brought to you by Taco Moto. So Taco Moto is the place where you can get a lot of your high performance parts. Probably not for this particular KTM, but if you have a new KTM and you want to make it go like the wind, Taco Moto is a place to go. They have the fuel pumps. They have all the trick little parts and things like that. So Rooster Endo brought to you by Taco Moto. You know what I never did is I never got the damn slideshow started up there with all of our sponsor logos on it. I'm gonna go do that. So go ahead, keep going.
By the time I started riding it, we didn't have a lot of options. It ran, so I rode the piss out of it. 30 years after this picture was taken, I bought a 2023 300XC, which I would consider the same model. Oh, how far they've come.
Wait a minute. Do you think that's him on that bike?
I think it is. Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's Trent
Zimmerman
on the bike. I should probably do him and tell him we're talking about his bike on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday right now.
All right.
But that would require typing, and that's hard for me. Let's see. You guys carry the show. I
low-key love the colors on those right there.
I don't know what I'm probably just shut the whole show down by typing on my keyboard.
Looking back, I mean, I was into more boats than dirt bikes and stuff back then. And they were the same colors, and I loved it. Miami Vice stuff.
Is that what color?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Crockett, that's what color they were.
Interesting. Well, Trent, right now so I was on the brochure photo. I was actually on the 125.
Yeah.
They used me for the 125. They used, I believe, Kevin Hines for because I think they had MX, and I was on the MX, even though I wasn't really an MX rider. Yeah. I was on the MX bike, and I think Kevin Hines was on the EXC. And that looks like a DXC. They had a DXC, which was the XC. Then the EXC was the Enduro one. I think Kevin was on that. And then I think Dan Smith was on the DXC in the brochure photos. But memories.
Yeah, look at them red hubs. Kind of cool.
Red hubs. There's a nice dent in the pipe. It's still you're lucky.
I like how unmolested that bike is after all these years.
I'll tell you what.
That picture is 30 years old though, but whatever.
Oh yeah. I actually did bring. There wasn't. I wonder if there was a second photo in that. No, there's only one image in that. I would because I have history with that bike. I would say it roosts, but I'm surprised that the power valve didn't snap. Because that was a big problem on the 250s and 300s back then. Is the power valves would just crack, and then they'd fall in and hit the piston, and it was catastrophic.
Oh, it was nasty.
They made in 91. Is it 91 when I started riding the 250? They sort of fixed it. I think 1990 was a really bad year for that power valve thing on those particular things. So if you
He
want
said he
to,
went out and bought the new one of the same model with the 300XE, so that's kind of cool.
yeah, current one.
The current.
Yeah, I'm going to say the bike roost. What do you think, Logan?
I like it.
You like it?
Cool colors and all that.
Yeah. You like the colors. So
Yeah.
KTM should go back to this.
No. Stamp it that they will, because everything comes full circle.
Oh yeah, they'll have a special
They will
edition.
have to, yeah.
Yeah. Bring back the painted hubs, says John Perkins.
Yeah.
So if you want to submit a bike for Tech Talk Taco Tuesdays Rooster Endo brought to you by Moto, you would send a picture of your bike and a little description about it to Jimmy at Dirt Bike Test. That's my name, at dirtbiketest.com. And then we look at it, and the bike that brings us the most enjoyment, whether it roosts or endos, will win a $100 gift certificate from Moto. So just so you know how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, we got more info on the
Husky Hauler.
Husky Hauler, correct. But runs with the JD tuner, just dies off of idle. Yeah, this we saw that. We're still not to the bottom of this. Maybe I answered his question in some of my ranting, but I don't know. Maybe he's out in the garage right now trying to figure it out.
Swapping ACU.
Quietly, Jimmy, why don't you run over and grab that other bottle?
I'm in.
Yeah, to get the darker version of that, and then we can compare it to the one I have right off to the side here. It's a fancy bottle of stuff. Okay, next on the agenda, we got rid of the Rooster Endo. We got rid of our questions. Was there anything? Oh, so what did you do to prep your body for a 10-hour race?
You ate a box of donuts the day before.
Yep. Friday morning.
Donuts?
Yep. About 6 of them.
How old are you, Logan?
19.
19. Well, I think
Yeah,
when you're
hard
19,
load.
yeah.
And then that was pretty much all I ate that day. And then I had 2 bites of sandwich during the race. Oh, I had a half a pound of hamburger.
The night before.
Yeah.
But during the race, you just didn't eat much.
No.
How much did you drink?
I don't know. Every time I stopped, I drank the full water bottle. And
then did you have a Camelback on?
yeah, I
Were
drank half of it.
Were they filling it up all the time?
No.
Electrolytes?
No.
Salt pills?
No. Wish I had salt pills because I started cramping at hour 2.
Hour 2.
Yep.
That's regulation. I can hear it through the headphones. I don't know if it's
I
going to
didn't
make
want that little. I didn't want the little.
the glug glug. Yeah.
I didn't want the thing biting me again.
So
Yeah, that's not very good prep, is it?
what's no, but you still finished.
Yeah,
So
finished well.
so
yeah.
in my world, we call that base mileage. Like it's not what you do the night before and the day before or the week before. It's the fact that you've been riding for a long time and you knew how to just go.
The
Kinda
baseline.
be efficient.
You were real easy to pick out off the start, by the way.
Did you see the reverse numbers on the right side?
I couldn't tell, but I just saw just a very smooth, consistent, like not a lot of acceleration, not a lot of deceleration guy in a pack of guys that were just going squirrely, especially our good buddy.
Our good buddy TJ.
Yeah. Woodworks Door and Frame sponsored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get your post up? Did you thank your sponsors?
I thought you were doing that.
No, I'm not your media guy. I didn't.
told you were allowed to use my clout for
to
Yeah.
post. Okay. Oh. No, you're not riding a Yamaha, so we don't talk about you very much. TJ, on the other hand,
Dirt
There-
Bike Test had 2 of the exact same bikes that aren't sponsored at that race.
is yours?
Yeah.
They had the Husky that what's his name? He did
The gas.
he did his 10 minutes
2
of
gas. That one's currently getting long hauled, I think.
the 302 stroke.
The 450,
Oh, they're doing both then.
I think.
Yeah, so they have a 302 stroke and they have a 450. So they're switching between those 2 bikes.
I don't know if they're doing the 300.
Yeah.
But I know of the 450.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure what Trevor's got going, but his guy what's his name? Rowan. Yeah, Rowan came on the show for 10 minutes, said this is stupid, and then left.
Rowan, come back.
Yeah. Hey, tell Trevor he needs to start his podcast because then I can quit doing this one. Any other? Let's see. Got any other questions in the chat? This is the show where we answer motorcycle related questions. Yeah. I thought I had a couple other things. I can always go to there's a place I can go to harvest really like a lot of times bad questions. Let me see if I can dig this thing up here. That's the wrong one. I have to go to this one and I have to go here. And you know where we go to get really bad questions?
YouTube.
Facebook. Oh, if you want to see how to do something wrong, because how are you watching this right now? On Facebook or YouTube? So just so you know, let's see here. Some group will show up with really bad questions. Wait a minute. There's a picture of me on the cover of the Post Star.
What?
Yeah, I was taking the load less traveled. I have no idea.
Who put that up there?
I don't. It's a memory probably or something like that. Let's see. Not sure about that. Sounding like other stuff. Dirt bike test is live. Will you look at that?
So are those other questions on YouTube? That's why they weren't lining up with. I'm not good at this part.
Finding questions.
That app can play. We're streaming to 3 different spots, and that app can show all 3 different spots.
Yeah. Hey, LACR posted that 7 months later, we're still no closer to obtaining insurance. And you heard that Sandy Valley is also having the same problem.
That sounds like they're about done. Yeah, because of that.
Yeah. Insurance is
the death of everything.
Yeah, it's getting bad. Okay, here we go. We have a question. Let's see. On the KTM odometer heading, what does it say?
My hour meter has a dead battery, and the previous owner slightly stripped the battery door trying to replace it. I made it worse, and it still hasn't budged. Anyone have a tip for this?
So what this guy has is that there's on the bottom of the KTM odometer is a big battery, like a watch battery kind of thing, and it's plastic. What I would do is get a nice sharp chisel or a flat bladed screwdriver and just tap on the side, just like you would when you strip, like kind of a screw, and you can reach it out on the side, get it where the leverage is good and sharp, strong things. I would answer that guy, but he could be watching us and he can have his thing answer. You know what we can do? We can go to that group, and there's usually a plethora of so what I'm going to do is here's the game we're going to play. We are going to look at the question, okay, and then I'm going to answer it, and then we're going to read the comments.
Okay.
And we're going to see
okay
how screwed up I am.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the thing you need to know about this show is I can operate very functionally as a cheapskate. I can do very low budget things that are pretty effective, and that's usually my first go-to. It isn't go get the most expensive shiny.
Yeah. No, you're good at that.
Sure. But I will tell you how both those things work. So, what does Christian Gates want to know?
Looking for some low-end grunt on my 21 250 XCW TPI. Would you A, high compression head ECU and possibly re-gear, or B, do a 300 conversion?
Interesting. What were we talking about earlier? So, okay.
Yeah.
What is this next?
Trying to decide what I should do next. I like how playful my bike is, but I also enjoy the low end on my buddy's 300.
Here, Logan, I know if you can type in this.
He wants the best of both worlds.
So I want you to go into the comments right now, and you can type in and say your question. Oh, you're not going to be able to get any closer to this. Oh. That's as far as that thing's going to go. Tell him his
question. The mouse free?
Oh, yeah, the mouse is free. Oh, yeah. You get another couple inches on that mouse. So what you can do is you can tell that guy that his question is being answered on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday right now. On live on dirtbiketest.com. You just use the @dirtbiketest. And then so
NSW.
Yeah, just do the click and Logan's I remember when you didn't talk, Logan, but the spelling was always pretty good.
Oh, no.
You can't see it. You're gonna have to just type it in properly. There's Yeah. The best thing is, Logan, you're typing as me, so then they'll all think I'm an idiot.
Where's the W go?
Yeah. Just start over. Just
Well,
go to
you're
the
derailed.
Here, hold on a second. I'm going to derail your shit. I'm going to cursor back. Okay. R. Yeah, that's the next letter. Now you finish the rest of it. I can't concentrate on that and answer his question. Okay, so like we said earlier, probably the simplest thing to do, ERED.
I'm done.
No. D. Put a D. D. Okay, space. Yeah. On. Yeah. Just put 4 T's. Okay. At, and then the at symbol. Yep. At dirt bike test. Yep. Click on that thing, and then live. And can put an avatar of my cat.
What's the emoji button?
Yeah, that's just now click send. That's,
Okay.
don't do any emoji. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So I don't want to look at the answers to the questions right now. I want to scroll up to the top because how many people question? It's okay. It's been up there for 1 hour. 17 people have commented already.
Yeah.
There's 17 people that want to just want to chuck information down this guy's throat. So 21, would you do a high compression head ECU possibly regear or do a 300 conversion? 300 conversion would probably be the simplest thing to do. I think you can buy that kit. I think those things have been on order forever, but it's like a one button, you push it. 500.
How many hours on the piston right now? Well, that would be a deciding factor.
Yeah, I mean, if
maybe it needs a piston.
Yeah, if you need to do a top end,
there,
you need to do a top end. If you're on maybe your second or third top end, maybe it's time to be looking at a cylinder. And then when your 250 comes off, send that cylinder in and get it replated and have it ready to go just in case of emergency. And then, but if you do high compression head at ECU and possibly regear, which by the way, regearing does not give you more low end grunt. It just changes the gearing.
Yeah.
Okay. So regearing can be a way if your bike doesn't have the grunt that you want. But I would also ask this guy, like, what does grunt mean to you? Like, is that snap or is it just actual pulling? Like, and a regear could just simply a regear period could easily fix this problem.
Depending on what kind of grunt he's talking about, huh?
One smaller tooth on the countershaft is an easy way to go. Minimal chain adjustment. You could do that, pop that on there, and in 10 minutes, you'll know the answer to your question. That'd probably be the simplest way to go. But anyways, so 300, I would not go with a high compression head in ECU.
No.
Because that's going to give you mostly more snap. It's going to, and it may actually not give you more grunt, but that's why we need to do so. Let's look and see what the, what do we call it? Peanut gallery? The people that have, so just like us, I have nothing better to do,
we'll call them.
but go trolling people on the thing. And look at our dirt bike test, has Trevor's horrible story about oil on there, where he got accused of, why would you change the oil at a track?
I remember that.
Ask me this question.
I'll ask you, but I know your answer. Yeah, why would you change the oil at a track?
And so John has a 300 jug with a complete power valve, 75 hours, high compression head, injectors for sale. I just get.
He's got both.
Yeah, So he's selling.
So you get super grunt. And
He's selling. Let's see. And Steve says, I have a 23 EC250, same bike, but red. He did a head and gnarly pipe, and I feel it was grunt as a 300. So it's good when people actually
have experience.
Okay, yeah. So he did it. He was happy with it. I'd be really surprised if it grunts like a 300. I think it might do something different, but let's see. Looking at the gnarly pipes helps with the lows and the mids. Glad to hear those. Are they talking about the FMF gnarly pipe? You would think?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. I typically disagree. I think the gnarly pipe, better top end, more snap.
Okay.
The rev pipe has better grunt.
Really?
In all of my experience, that's what I feel. But so they may be experiencing grunt at a different RPM level.
I went and rode your 300 this weekend. I really like the way you got that set up. I know you got a pipe on it, but
That's a believe it or not, that's a Lex pipe. Yeah. And
I know you've probably done something.
But no, it's the muffler. It has an FMF muffler. That's a special muffler.
I like that pipe.
That makes way more power up on top because it's a special one. They don't make them. Has a little teeny tiny hole at the end. Like it's quiet. It's long and it's quiet. It makes really good top power. But I never ride it there. But it's also super smooth and it has a lot of grunt.
Yeah, it does.
When did you ride my bike?
Whenever we were playing Broken Bike Brigade.
Oh, because I sent him down on my bike and you came back on mine.
10 minutes or whatever.
Oh, you did that pivot turn. That's right. Yeah.
Never gonna forget that.
Okay. The head helped a lot with everything the pipe took away. A lot of the top, and though my buddy has a TE250 I rode back to back, and he says the same thing too. Okay, I know exactly I don't know what he was saying. Traded in a 300 and never regret it. 300s are more fun to ride and easier to sell when times to trade up. That's a true statement.
That's a good point he makes about easier to sell.
But if you put the 300 jug on your 250, who's going to know until they see the title? Let's see. I thought about it. I work at a shop and I see them sitting every day. Okay. Put the 300 cylinder on it. There we go. I had a 2016 KTM 250 XC. I rode in the desert in New Mexico, moved back to Wyoming. Okay. And needed the grunt again. Put the 300 cylinder on it and it proved the problem solved. So let's see. In the desert in New Mexico, moved back to Wyoming. Why would you need more grunt? I guess in Wyoming, you just need more grunt. I don't know.
Altitude, maybe.
Altitude?
I don't know how high Wyoming is. I don't know.
Then somebody threw an ad up there, just like we did. We put a link to Dirt Bike Test TikTok Talk on Tuesday.
We kind of did the same thing.
1349 gearing. Huh. Well, nobody said that before. Start off with a 52 sprocket, cheap and very effective. Oh, Steve, I'm going to argue with you. Counter shafts are cheaper and more effective.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it'd be enough for what I'm wanting. And let's see. I agree. Then don't head in ECU. You'll be good on power. I just sold my 250 with the blah, 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 blah. I prefer setup 250 to 300. Also prefer 450 over 350 or 500. So to each their own. How did that help? Okay. So that's what you get on the internets.
Yeah, well.
I hopefully we slayed it and got like 15 new viewers because of this horrible little post. Thanks, Logan, for trolling this poor guy on the internets with my name on my behalf. Did it bring any questions in? That's the real question. Let's see if we can have here it is right here. It should be easy to find. Some guy named Ricky. Hey, we need to know about the peptides.
Oh, well, he's got to ask.
Do we get the thing? Logan, spelling good. Sign your dad's name after wherever you type.
Because there's one definitely no joke, no denying where he got his good spelling from.
Okay, Trent Zimmerman. Yeah, that was me on the KTM as a toddler, not blowing smoke. The YZ comes up anytime my dad talks about that bike. Wondering what you think about the Japanese versus Austrian bikes of that era.
That's a good question. I like that.
So, at the time, I was a Dirt Bike Magazine test rider. Actually, the test of that bike, it got reposted. We rode the bikes up onto a ledge and parked them on a hill, and we stood on the front number plates. The test rider stood on the front number plates, and it was just something crazy that the photographer had us do. And I was standing on the KTM in that particular photo, and that was when Ron Lawson, I think, had just started at Dirt Bike Magazine, and so we all rode the bikes. Mind you, I'm a KTM factory rider at the time. I raced desert for KTM. I was very familiar with that bike. Guess which bike I thought won the shootout? You want to guess?
The RM.
No.
Suzuki.
No. I picked the KTM.
All right.
What was really weird is that I would hop off. So on those bikes, they weren't great. I mean, all the bikes weren't great at that time. They all but suspension wasn't that good. The motors could be good or bad. I mean, they were different. They were definitely different. But the KTM had a really good motor. I mean, they always had really good motors. Power was a little bit different delivery, but I was totally used to it. So that's why I picked that as the best. I knew how to click the suspension clickers on that WP suspension at the time to make it work really good. And everybody wrote it, and I played around with the clickers. But I played around with the clickers on the Honda that year because that's when Hondas used to head shake. You know, they had steep steering angles. And so I knew how to run it a little bit lower in the rear and make sure the forks didn't have any air in them. And I could get them to not head shake and everything. But I picked the KTM as my favorite 250 motocross bike. And Ron Lawson just goes, I disqualify your opinion. So, which I didn't care.
As he should have, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you were biased.
I was totally biased. I wasn't biased. I was just, that was the bike I was most familiar on because I was doing,
felt like home.
I was doing, hundreds of hours a month on that particular bike. And so you just hopped on it. It felt like home. And it really wasn't that bad. Although I'm sure it got 5th in the shootout, I don't remember which one. Power valve spring on the 250. That's Joe. That is a great suggestion for the 250 guy. I forgot about the power valve because that's not electric power valve, and you can still do the springs, and it's pretty amazing what they can do. Yeah, it's hard to get more grunt with the power valve. You can usually make them more aggressive. KTM runs the power valve setup that they run as a pretty, we'll call it grunty stock setup. But yeah, the power valve springs are always something to play with. If you have that opportunity more, that's why I would say get an ECU on a new TBI bike, the one with the electronic power valve, but get an ECU that allow you to tune the power valve. And then you can really have a lot of,
so any mechanical adjustments gone on the new TBI bikes, right?
Yeah. And Joe says cheap as well. So yes. So Trent, yeah, that was right. So what do I think about the Japanese versus Austrian bike? The Japanese bikes were generally, I'm trying to think, were they built that much better? Because KTM's always had pretty good fasteners and stuff like that. The Hondas typically were built really well. The Yamahas always had really good motors, but the suspension was kind of hit or miss back then. The Suzuki's didn't seem to last a long time, but they ripped when they were new, and man, did they turn. There was the Austrian bike was just weird at the time, and the suspension, everybody just poo-pooed the suspension, and it was kind of like a Beta right now. Like if you buy a Beta with the non KYB suspension, the Sachs and the Sachs shock and fork, people right now go, oh, it's crap, and it's really not that bad. You break it in, get it serviced, and give it a few clicks, and you'd be really, really surprised. So I should probably check my email to see if any Rooster Endos have come in either. I know it's one of these buttons here I can click on.
Right side. It's
the dirt bike. There it is over there. This email. Let's see. No submissions. So you're still in the front one. Let's go back to our favorite place to fish for the questions. Here we go.
Oh, the avgas question.
Here we go. What's the question?
Has anyone run 100 octane leaded AV gas in a 300XC TPI? Consider giving it a shot. If not, what fuel do you usually use?
Okay.
It's called avgas, actually.
Okay. So can I ask a question? Aviation. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why?
Fast. Cooler engine.
Hill climber.
Cooler.
It's got a turbo on it.
So the TBIs, they spend a lot of time tuning those bikes to run on 91, 92 octane standard fuel. And when you change that, it's just like you used to have to change your jetting, and the ECU will try to compensate. Like it's gonna maybe, I'm trying to think how it would know, because it's not taking an exhaust reading, and it's not going to alter the crankcase pressure any. It's not going to know. The bike doesn't know. But that's not what it's tuned for. So I would say, I'm sure in this group, let's see how many comments do we have? 66 people have commented on this thing. So what would be my answer? Is the answer is don't do it. he should have submitted that bike for Roosterendo, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, might have won $100 from Taco Moto.
Yeah.
90 non-ethanol. If you're running your bike a lot, regularly, the ethanol doesn't make a huge difference. Let's see. It's pointless unless you can get non-ethanol gas for storage. These engines don't detonate on pump gas, so adding octane on a stock bike gives you no advantage. There is some truth to that, but it's not 100% accurate.
Story?
Yeah, I would disagree. My TPIs would all have terrible pipe bang on diesel, and with Avogas, it was gone. Interesting. Okay, so I know that the TPIs do have the zing and the run on.
Yeah,
and they do sound like they detonate or knock. Are they? When I pull my piston out, I didn't see any indication of it, but sometimes it does sound like it.
Yeah, he's right. It does sound.
They sound lean. Adding octane, I feel, would make it worse. But I mean, let's see. Pipe bang and detonation are completely different things, right? I'm on my 4th TPI, and they all run like locomotives on pump gas because that's what they were designed to do. At 7, Kevin, I'm not trying to be funny. It would literally dump last year's 87 out of my lawnmower and run it. That's not super smart, but
is this the same guy like that mixes the back before when you had to mix them?
So, when you mixed like 87 and 91 to get a special blend of something else
in your actual like pre-mix ratios, it's just
what does Tim say, Logan?
100 push-ups, 500 crunches, and 10 minutes of wall sets every day will make you faster than any Avgas.
Do you think you could beat Tim at the 10 hour if he's doing that kind of crap? You doing those things?
I am not.
Okay, well, then you don't need to do them, I don't think. What does Moses say?
If you haven't messed with the compression ratio, you're wasting your money.
I tend to agree.
90 rec gas. I guess that means regular.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Waylon.
I use 100
low lead,
and would definitely say it picks up the RPM much better.
Hey, this was good. I need another one.
That was great, by the way.
Yeah. So it wasn't a bad pick.
No.
Let's see. So Brandon decided to drop in. He doesn't have a TPI bike, but he's going to tell you what he runs anyways. That's so helpful.
In my XR.
You should start a podcast like me, because I just tell you what I think and it doesn't matter. Let's see. Michael says,
I ran VP for a year. Then I was on a trip and ran out, so I bought 91 and the bike ran better. I have not gone back.
I tend to believe what Michael just said. That's a good. Can I like that? I'm gonna like that.
Smash the like button.
Yeah, that was Now Michael didn't tell us if he was on a new bike or carbureted, or Michael probably rides a Yamaha. Sounds like a smart person. Yamaha sponsors this podcast because they're smart people. Also climb. If I were going to ride today, like I did on Saturday when it was 105 on the way back down here, I was comfortable in my climb Mojave.
Is that what that was?
Mojave vented gear. Super. Actually, it wasn't that bad up in the mountain. It was really nice.
It wasn't that bad at all.
Yes, rec fuel.
Unless you've changed the compression ratio, you don't need high octane. It doesn't do anything, and it's a waste of your money. Rec has no ethanol, which is much better all the way around.
So, ethanol is really good for absorbing water. So, if you're in an area with a lot of moisture, sometimes having a little ethanol in your gas isn't too bad as long as you use it. Yeah, because it gets it absorbs it. Like the rest. It absorbs it and gets it. And guess what it does? It boosts your compression, that water in your gas that comes in with the ethanol. Yeah. And so you don't need a high compression head. Okay. Got an all-star contributor here. What does he say?
I've used a lot of 100 low lead. It usually is a similar price and closer than stations selling Rec 90 or Rec 89. I've never had any problem using it in any of my dirt bikes. Kids, 50s, chainsaws, weed whackers, yada yada. I can get 260 GT cheaper now, and it doesn't have lead. So I use that. But 100 low lead is good stuff.
So 100 octane low lead is built for airplanes, and it's made to, because airplanes have engines that weren't designed to run without lead. They need it to cushion the valve guides and stuff like this. It was made to last a long time. It was properly stored, of course. And so I remember there was a lot of people that, because I was running F&L Fuel 100 when I was racing, because I got it for free. And we jetted our bikes and got it tuned for it. But the good thing about it is we knew it was absolutely consistent, where you can't say that with 100% certainty at pump gas. You just don't know how, if you're not familiar, we were racing all over the place. So you just didn't know which stations were selling a lot of fuel. And so with fuel, there's what they call top tier fuel. That means it has some additive packages in it. Some additive packages are really good. Other ones, not so much. They don't do stuff. And then there's just regular gas that doesn't have a lot of additives in it. But all the base blend of gas, like base oils, are the same. It's what the different companies put in there to make them a little bit different. But
I know right now in Vegas, you wouldn't want to. The avgas, you can't get it in anything. They're no longer allowed to put it in a jug as of last year. All the boat guys are having to drive to Utah to get it because I think it's an FAA law they passed or something, or the airports have passed that you have to pour it directly into a plane now. No longer put it in a jug.
Yeah.
At least in Vegas.
Yeah.
City, all those.
Interesting. So here's somebody that ran 110 octane in his bike.
I ran 110 race gas in my 2024 Husky TE 300. I was told by a guy at the KTM dealer that if I ran 93 octane pump gas, it would run better. Well, I tried it and it did not run better. Throttle was much crispier with the 110 in it. I will not ever switch back again. Maybe 90 rec fuel would be okay, but the difference in price and how much I use it just isn't worth it to me.
Huh. So 110 race gas costs what, $10 a gallon? Generally.
I haven't bought it for a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, $10 a gallon. And and I think avgas is probably close to 6, like 6-ish or something. So I mean, he feels like it runs better. I know it will change. For sure it'll change the way it runs. And I never liked the way that when I put race gas in my bikes, most of the time I didn't like the way they ran, and I definitely had to rejet them. So there's
around them usually.
There's nothing to say. So you may like, and what it usually do is it gave it a much leaner feeling off vital, like a flatter, leaner feeling, and then it kind of hit. It made it kind of hit and come on. I've never done it in a fuel injected bike, so I can't tell you, or not a fuel injected 2-stroke, so I can't tell you specifically. Let's see. He's in the $10 a gallon. And wow, how did I know that without looking at that stuff? I was right on with the prices that somebody actually knows.
Sure.
Yeah, and everybody kind of goes back and just gives them a little bit. Lots of Yamaha KTM says 100 low lead avgas. That's his answer. You're not. He's probably more KTM than Yamaha if he said that. Okay, now we've got. Let's see. What does Rob say?
You don't need to run regular fuel. I ran 92 octane in my last 5 300s. I've had a high compression head, and they run fine with no issues.
Yeah, and I don't know when you get the high compression heads if they start recommending that you run higher octane fuel like race gas and stuff in it. I imagine, it depends. Again, it depends how it's all tuned and how stuff works, but everybody has a different opinion. We're not gonna type into that thing there. We're moving on to the next one. Okay, we got some questions coming in. questions in the other thing. Okay. Beam Echo. We talked about that earlier. And then Rowan came back. Oh, Trevor probably called him and told him he had to get on the show. What's his question there?
Any suggestions for California budget dual sport bike under 5K, 50/50 trails and dirt roads? Old KTM versus XR650L. Best years.
I got an XR650 for sale right now.
Mm-hmm.
Under 5K for sure. I think more around 4 with an electric starter that you can actually get working. It needs a little bit of work, but I'm willing to work on the price with you. So just call me. Just Jimmy at Dirt Bike Test, and I can hook you up. Old KTM. If you want an old KTM, I got a KTM 525 EXC that has a plate on it, but not a California plate, but it's a Utah plate. So
even better.
Yeah, it might be even better. So, but best years, XR650L. I have an XR650R, and XR650L I'd kind of stay away from. I don't know. It's too much of a too much of a. I don't know. It's one of those things that you're just going to keep. If you've ridden modern dirt bikes, you're going to keep working on it to make it something that it's not, and you're never going to be happy. Or at least like the aluminum frame XR650R has enough stability and it's still straight. And the old KTMs are actually pretty good compared to a modern bike. Yeah, but Beam, we talked about the rewind back to the beginning of the show, about 5 minutes in, talked about beta 350s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The quote 350s. Raymond.
Can you recommend a small tire inflator to carry on my bike?
Raymond, I absolutely can. Trail Tech, one of the sponsors of the show, makes a really nice little rechargeable digital, because you can set the pressures on it, tire pump that you can carry on the bike, and it'll do 3 or 4 motorcycle tires, because I've done them before.
Kind of like that one, because it's not so bulky. It's not so square. It's long and flat.
Yeah.
It fits in a Camelback better.
Yeah. And if you email me, again, I sent my email a million times, my name at dirtbiketest.com, I can probably get a discount code on that. There's a lot of stuff I can get you discount codes on if you're not afraid to email me, and I won't email back the answer that I sent to the guy that said his girlfriend liked our website. I won't do that to you. And so Beam is going to rewind. Okay. Wait a minute. Where did it go? I got to go over here. We got to go back to don't close that thing down.
Oh, that's close.
It's
flirting with disaster.
I might be replying on some comment I didn't know I had. Uh-oh. What did I just do with that thing?
It's hidden again.
Hidden again? Jeez.
I saw you did the right move.
I tried. I might have just shut the whole show down though. You never know. Got any new questions? Okay, here we go. Oh, we already answered that one. There's another group that has really good. Well, what's that?
Yeah.
I think I made the webs the thing bigger. I'm gonna make it less. There we go. Now here. It was down. Now was past that one. There we go. What's this one? What does Seth want to know?
I've replaced seal and O-ring twice, and I did a full rebuild, and it's still leaking. Seal is sealing to the case good, just the inside won't seal into the primary gear. Primary gear looks good and in good shape. Could it look good, but
still be worn?
Yeah.
Well, so my question is, how are you setting that bearing? Wait, what? So it's on a 2-stroke. This is primary gear. And he has how many? We have 23 answers. on how to do this. So what are you using to set that back in there? Do you have a nice bearing driver to push that thing back in there? And then how long is it taking for it to do what it's doing? Like, does it do it right away or does it take a little while? The bearing, somebody says that maybe the bearing is bad. So it doesn't take much for those seals to get a little bit crooked and then not seal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I've seen a lot of people when they don't know how to install them and they run them over the lip and then they tear the seal, things like this. But did he say that he installed it? What was his quote? What did he say about installing it properly? He said, just did replaced the seal and O-ring twice. I just did a full rebuild and it's still leaking. Seal is sealing the case. Yeah, of course it always seals the case good.
Is that soap that he sprayed on that?
Yeah, and see
maybe he's doing a pressure test
test
and the bubbles are coming up in the seal. Let's see what everybody else bearing. It seems like it's when you look at it, the seal's flush against the case, so that's good. So it's gone in there. But a lot of times, did you put the seal in before the crank was in, or did you try to do it over the top? Because the seals usually goes in before you put the crank in, because that way you can get it nice and straight, and then you lube it up and then set the case on top of it. So I don't know what the order of things were done there. Let's see let's see. Did a tight fit? No chance of it spinning the case. Yes. Not spinning. It's on a sleeve or a bush, so it's in the correct way. I'm not really sure what. Let's see. Any other questions? Let's see. What pressure is this happening? This seal's there to keep crankcase pressure out. That's true. It can go both ways. There's both pressure and vacuums inside there. He said, let's see. Have you done this before? Is your first time? Maybe a groove on the shaft. Let's see. I wouldn't be Tory. The seal is not to leak the other way to stop oil from entering the crank area. Any pressure under the piston is relieved by case venting anyways. Think about it. Yeah. But when you hear, it generally comes in the ignition side. When you hear people just rev the crap, especially out of mini bikes, and they do that loud pop.
Yeah.
Air leak. That's it sucking air in through the thing and stuff. But it also, when it goes down, it's pressuring it's easy for the pressure to blow up into the thing, but you get them, revved wide open. There's a significant amount of pressure inside of there.
Sure.
So let's see what the vent is out of the transmission. What? Yeah. It just sounds
like I was answering a 4-stroke question.
Yeah. He thought it was a 4-stroke on the 2-stroke group. Hey, when you go, I've done that stuff, just assembled things. I remember what's his name? Your Ding Dong's bike. Cooper. Yeah. When we didn't put we did 2 engines in one night and we didn't do a very good job. Yeah. Scrolling through trying to find the questions in here someplace. Hey, look, another J. Clark bike tested by somebody. Hey, look, Prump OHV track, Youth Rider Day, Saturday, June 21st, 7 to 10 a.m. We're going to go out there and work on it.
This weekend?
No, in less than 2 weeks or something like that. I'll tell you something about that. We're going to work on it on Friday evening. And there could be, hey, look, there's us. We're chatting on the YouTubes. Where's that's another question about suspension. I'm looking for the other group. I probably got kicked off the other one. There's somebody on a Yamaha roosting, having a good time.
Yeah.
Somebody lost their dog. Trying to find the other group with all the questions. Maybe we answered all the questions and they're not there anymore. I don't know. Do we have any questions in our chat? Did anything come up here? Could you recommend a small tire inflator? I got that one. Somebody's saying the bike endos. Hold on a second.
It's the other tab, all the way on the left.
All the way over here?
Left. Nope, not the other tab.
Oh, but like this one here.
Yeah.
right there. Tyler Wallace threw in a last-minute Rooster Endo. Well, didn't he already win? Who was the guy
that was something Zimmerman.
Wait, didn't Tyler?
He did endo the other guy's bike, I think.
I
like this guy.
He claimed the other guy's bike endoed.
Yeah, because he submitted his.
So I have to go to this one here. I have to go to this one here, and then I have to check to see if we have it. Maybe it'll pop up. We'll see.
Hit the circle.
Sometimes people can't type my email address. It's too hard. Hey, look, the new 2026 RX models from Beta. See, it's pictures. What do they say?
They got a 250, a 350, and a 450.
See, look, it says ride a bit. They should sponsor this podcast. Amazing. 350 RX, all new for 2026. This new model replaces the 300 version for the 20. Replaces?
Yeah, it's the 300 RX is gone. I think they'll keep the off-road bike.
Oh, okay. New engine cases, bore and stroke, as well as a twin plug head to ignite the special power with only big two-stroke can provide. Longer crankshaft combined, that's less RPM, combined with the final gearing ratio of 13, large amount of torque and overall horsepower that will turn some heads.
So they stroked it, is what I read. I mean,
yeah, I'm trying to look at the motor to see if it says new engine cases, but man, for Beta to make a change to the cases is like a huge thing. Do they give us any other pictures?
450 RX has got completely different cases than say the off-road models.
Yeah, because they're going to start using that motocross, derived motor one. So okay, I'm going to go back to the inbox and see. I haven't seen it show up. Maybe his internet connection is really slow because I did not receive. You know what? I did not receive a Rooster Endo that I can see. Here. So we might just have to cancel the whole show. There's no way it came to this other email, did it? We'll see. Nope. We're just seeing, and I didn't get my tech support call about this show, so probably gonna have to. It's all gonna be over. So, which tequila do you like, Jimmy?
I'm loving this.
El Paraiso Reposado.
Yeah, the Reposado. They're quite a bit different. They're definitely.
Yeah, it does taste. The first one's not that bad, but I don't think it's great.
I enjoyed it. I really like this one though.
Evidently, if you age it a little bit, it gets good. Okay, let's shoot it against this one here. This nice, pretty bottle.
This is kind of the.
It's a good one.
That's a pretty bottle.
Logan, one of these days, I won't let you have any of this stuff.
One of these days, you're going to get the Quavo 1800.
So did TJ drive himself home?
Yes, he did.
He did.
Yep.
Was he in Crampville?
Yes.
Yes.
Not as bad though.
Not as bad as you?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So even with all that aggressive riding,
yeah.
But he's a specimen.
He is. Yeah. I no doubt he is.
He had more time to prep too.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and he also does those 500 crunches, 10-minute wall sits.
Oh,
stuff. So
yeah, he does a lot of that stuff.
0 drop frames on this show. I have to pat myself on the back for fixing the show.
Maybe it's time for Logan to ask his question.
Well, you got a question?
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask it when we were bogging there? The show was bogging. I had to turn to tequila to.
So
now to
save your third strike with Link, we're thinking of my bike going to him, and I'm getting a new bike.
Okay.
I'm thinking of a 252 stroke. What are your thoughts against or with?
You can get what you want.
Well, yeah, but of course you can.
Like which bike?
What bike do you think, Logan? You've seen him ride. You know how he rides.
I hate to say it, Logan, but you're not good enough for a YZ250 two-stroke. I mean, I have to because of the show. I have to tell you that the YZ250 by far and away is the simplest, most gnarly power 250 two-stroke. Carburetor, easy to ride, mixing gas like the old days, like you're supposed to, kickstarting like you're supposed to. It's a thing. People are into this, but not you.
I was thinking of the other version of not mixing gas, not kickstarting, not.
Yeah. So you
with a kickstand.
The YZ250X has a kickstand.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it has a kickstand. It's almost, it has a kickstand and a slightly different curve on the power valve shape. And I think the pipe might be slightly different, and an 18-inch rear wheel. So if you're thinking about a Yamaha and you want an off-road one, they make an X version, but you're not. I understand this. You're just not playing the game. So are you thinking about doing more racing, like Grand Prix racing, or more like desert racing, or where are we going? What are we going to do with this bike? Hammer hoops?
Not that. But
boy, that's desert racing. Is hammering hoops. Let's be honest.
you can get around them.
Any of them. Any racing is going to be hammering hoops.
Yeah. But racing, Grand Prix, and desert.
Okay. So I'm at that point, I'm kind of going, well, probably not XCW.
I wasn't thinking that either.
Yeah.
That's what he's got now, basically.
But yours has a linkage.
Yes, it's an XCW, but it's got the XCW.
Well,
it's an XCW motor if there ever was. It's a trail motor.
So in all honesty, of all the red one, the white one, and the orange one, the red one, 250 had the best motor. The 300 250, they had the best motor, and they swear up and down they're the same. There's something different in the ECU and something different in the power valve. Or I don't know. I don't know in the last couple of years, but for sure there was a couple of years ago, and the gases tended to be a little bit better. I had no problems with any of the componentry on the gases. I thought, if you didn't tell me which one I was on, I probably, hop in between the three of them.
Between like the Brembos.
I probably could. I could feel the brakes maybe a little bit, but I probably couldn't tell you which bike I was on if I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, but I could tell they're a little bit different. There's little differences between them, but I would look at that one.
So do you think a 252 stroke's the right way to go for him?
But don't you know a guy that has a beta shop?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of close to the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
He even has demo days.
I would go ride a 250 and a 300 beta. But because it's a big difference. It's a difference from a KTM. Did you ride her last time we had our test bikes out here?
No,
you didn't ride the So we could probably get that one from Trevor.
Okay,
we could get, but that's a 300.
Yeah.
But the I would actually. I mean, I'm serious when I'd say ride the beta, because it's a little bit different, and some people really like your dad. Whole different rider when he got on a beta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed that. It was like he disagreed with the handling characteristics of the orange one, and hopped on the beta, and it did really good. So I don't know, if you have the opportunity, I'd give it a shot. But they're all good. They're all really good bikes. It's just they're all different flavors, and you want to make sure you get the flavor that you like.
I like the WP suspension over KYB. I've never really had KYB. Back to it's home at YP or WP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've never had your own set you set up.
Yeah.
Well, you can get the sacks on the beta too, which is right there with the WP stuff as well. It's similar, but if you like your gas, you're probably gonna like the gas 250 2-stroke. It's good. It's not gonna. You're gonna have to shift it a lot more.
Yeah.
It's not gonna have the torque, but it's gonna be lighter and more agile. And this is a step up.
This is next level.
Yeah, this is a step up.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is Milagro Extra Anejo in a special bottle that we feel like we got cheated on. So you can there we go. It's up on the screen.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, not bad.
It's got a pineapple in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is, a pineapple.
I guess.
Right. So
you agree with him getting a 2-stroke to go racing? I think I've never seen him ride as well as he does on this 450.
The 4-stroke fits his
style for sure.
We'll call it lackadaisical riding style.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It just seems like you prefer to ride in a very relaxed way.
He does not like to string bikes. He just don't do it.
Probably not the best for 250, more 300.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
does not get in the RPM.
Yeah, with 300, you upshift it and let it pull.
Gonna have to stay in the RPM.
Gonna have to downshift it every once in a while. Yeah.
You don't like that.
Yeah. Tyler says he has a bad internet because he's up in the mountains, so that's why his Rooster Endo would not come through. What does Doug say?
I think you should get the same exact bike, just to know.
I had a
Kajiva.
Kajiva built Husky with Sachs and Marzucci. Felt like designer brand at the mall.
What does a designer brand feel at the mall? Is that what John's talking about there?
I don't go to the mall.
So it's funny is I see John's thing. I want to let's see. You think he's just got a robot putting that stuff in there?
No. What else has he said? I'm trying to figure out what he says, but I know that line. I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Well, he should have donated $20 to the show then.
Right.
Let's see. I wanted to see his YouTube channel and see what he's all about. Sometimes.
Did he say anything before that?
I don't think so.
He says he's got good internet and $20, if you know what I'm saying.
I like it. I think I do.
I don't know what he's saying.
Well, did he? I think maybe go up a little bit. Did he say something before?
I don't see anything. No, I think he just kind of popped in there.
I think that's the icebreaker.
And
I thought he was thinking Tyler probably bad internet up in the mountains. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. No,
yeah, good internet and $20.
I just like the movie Lebowski.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what he's saying really. I kind of want to see what he's got on his.
I don't know how you find his channel.
On it, well, sometimes when they comment on the channels, we can always do that. I never do that anymore. I can go to. So explain the link. The what we're gonna do about Link. So he's gonna get a 450.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
To save that third strike for me.
One that starts and runs all the time. So we're kind of
Logan prep bike, which is way better than Link prep.
Which means it's no prep at all.
No, Logan preps. Logan works on bikes, buddy.
But he didn't before this race.
No, that's because his bikes are pretty much always ready, though.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he keeps his.
So that's what you did. You kept your bike ready to go, so you could make a race decision at the last minute.
Yeah. No,
I'm trying to.
His bike's always ready to go.
I need to go here, and then we can answer questions. I'm just going to be doing Trevor's work for him by answering these questions right now. My internets are going slow, but we still haven't dropped a frame, so that's really good. And I mean, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Here we go. Here's our questions. Okay, we'll find out to the ones I haven't responded to. Oh, you know what? This is the wrong damn channel. I have to switch channels. 23 million subscribers. We're huge. That's why there's, I don't know how many people watching this show right now. There is 21 people out of 21 million. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday live. Good suggestion. We have to go here to the community, and we're going to answer our questions. Okay. On our 23 Yamaha W. My ears just blew up. I had to close that down.
That lights you guys up.
That was loud. I wonder if it went through the. that was me riding a motorcycle. That's what it sounds like. I can't see. It's trying to tell me. It's trying to help.
You hit close.
Close. Oh, that's what you hit? The close on the button? Okay. Here we go. What does Thomas Robert Fitness want to know?
Would you suggest this bike for a beginner rider at 6'4", 207 pounds at 37 years old? I don't want to do anything crazy, just moderate enduro trails.
He's talking about a 23 Yamaha WR450F. Because Yamaha sponsors this show, I have to say yes, absolutely. I'd say it's a perfect bike for a beginner. No. Probably not a bad bike for a beginner.
I don't think so, yeah.
But here's the thing.
That's a big boy right there.
Thomas,
so Yamaha's good for him.
Yeah. So when you're that big and at that weight, you're gonna tame the bike. But here's the thing about the WR. You know how, and we talked about, we do the competition ECU, and there's these little things, they come with a throttle stop, and they come with that little tiny pea shooter inside of the muffler. And if you don't know how to do that stuff, and if you're a beginner rider and possibly not knowing these things, may not be the best bike to start with unless you've got a good dealer, or you can follow some instructions where people don't tell you have to buy this and buy that. And that bike you need to buy an ECU for. Really? You need to get the competition ECU so that it runs a lot better. I mean, we rode it around stock. We talk about it in the test. Watch, this is the full test. So he probably realizes what we did to the bike. And the WR is not a bad bike to start out as a beginner because it is a little bit more mellow, but it is one of the more aggressive bikes, and it stalls a little bit. And he's just bragging. His 300L gets up to 80 with ease, and it's stock. Okay.
Wow.
What is UB dumb fucks 2916 say?
Try some of the new KTM 390 flavors. The new for 2025 Enduro R390 comes to mind. You've proven skill is very important too, and tires, of course. On the other hand, Honda improved the suspension a bit for 2025, and other 50 through 100cc on the wish list might have placed you at top 3.
No, yeah, we'll test the KTM 390 when we get one. I don't think they're going to have any hard time selling them. I don't think there's a whole lot of them around. I think the production on them got slowed down quite a bit. So, that video's got a lot of views. These small dual sport. Remember we did all the small dual sport bikes and you were wondering why?
Yeah. Apparently they work.
There's a new 2025 KLX 300 motor near me for $51.99. His wife says he's got to sell one from the herd first. Let's see.
Oh, look at this.
Wait, look at that. What does Ron Hartle say?
Bring Logan back at least for one show. I want to see that catastrophic. Oh boy. Catastrophic.
Catastrophe.
Let home run the live stream.
Well, tell him to use words that you can spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. What does Ron say now?
You need to do a Jimmy Lewis favorite tequila list or top 10 and get sponsored. I will definitely try whatever you recommend.
That's did all the advertisers just hear that? This guy will try whatever I recommend.
We are selling tequila here. Well, we'll release our.
I'm still waiting for that bottle of mezcal. The guy was gonna send it up, and I was gonna get sponsored. I thought I saw something showing up, but it never showed up. So maybe somebody stole it out of the. Well, let's see. Thomas McNabb. That's my brother-in-law. Just rewatched this. Dave the Wave Ondas. He was fun to watch ride. We were talking about racing in Baja. Let's see. What does Desert Chris say?
I've got a WR 450 and a KLX 300, and I love my WR, but the KLX surprises me. As a beginner, I can ride the KLX more aggressively, and when I want to have more excitement, the WR is great.
So the guy that asked us the first question, Thomas Robert Fitness, he needs to look at that. I should reply to him and say, yeah, that works. What does user something say?
Do you think I could use it for a 350 XCF with a 365 cylinder to in-kit the extra fuel for 15cc?
Now that's a robot. That's AI there for you. That's responding to the video. It grabs some keywords and
God.
Let's see.
That's my favorite thing is to read the AI articles on bikes. They're kind of fun.
It's been, the funny thing is it's nothing new. You've always been able to kind of scan Google and just cut and paste information and do things. Let's see. YZ125X or a YZ250X. Which one do you have more fun on? YZ125. That's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
They want a link to purchase the flywheel puller. Click through our links at Rocky Mountain ATV MC and you can get there. You can get a Motion Pro one or you can get a Tusk one. All this stuff. One of those was a 2018 YZ450FX. I haven't touched it besides protection. 231.6 hours and still running like new.
He's riding that sucker. Good for him.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. Although, I mean, yeah, I don't know how far bikes can go these days. I think it all depends on how you ride them. Master links versus rivet chains on dirt bikes. What does this person say?
Have always used Master Links. Just had my bike serviced with a new chain. The shop installed it with the rivet first ride, and it failed riding up a hill. Pedals jammed, the hanger bent. Luckily, I was able to unclip quick enough, and I didn't fall. Took it back to the shop. They straightened the hanger and reinstalled the chain with the Master Link.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Bike chains.
This is dirtmountainbiketest.com. He watched our video on did he know the difference, or did you just feel like he needed to talk? Did he watch he was there's a segment of this show, and Did
he not notice a massive difference?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, that's just leaning to the quality of the person that did the work. You know, he took it to the shop and they installed it, and like more than likely the guy at the shop didn't know what he was doing. And in mountain bike shop, that doesn't surprise me. Because but I mean, anyways, let's see. On a video you did, Logan.
Yep.
2022 Honda CRF 250F first impression.
They need to put a Kickstarter back on it, make it run with a dead battery like the CT110. Headlight would be nice as well.
Well, Jordan Wolf, no, they don't need to put a kickstart back on it. Just don't let your battery go dead. Mm-hmm. And if they had a kickstart, they wouldn't put a battery in it, and then you wouldn't be able to run a headlight very easily. So you can't have everything. Oh, look, this is exhaust pipe you were talking about. What does Daniel Palmer want to know?
Great quick review. I also like the stock pipe, putting on a new head for the bottom and mid-range this weekend anyway. Good to know it bolts on, as I will be making a jig from it so I can adjust it, dent it, repair pipes so they fit again.
So he's going to build a pipe jig. He's going to go smash his pipes. That's good. What did they say? What did C-Tech say about our Tech Talk Taco Tuesday?
Really good info. Thank you for teaching us stuff only someone like you could.
I think he's talking about probably Big John. So should I explain my 2 strikes rule, 3 strikes rule?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we went riding with your buddy Link.
Yeah.
And so second time in a row, we had the bike failure.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time we had you on the show because I had to come and explain it. The first time, so I still don't know exactly what happened to the bike. Do we know what happened to the bike?
Yesterday or the day before yesterday? No.
Okay.
So
It's been a little quick.
I haven't saw my beta guy yet to go. He's pretty sharp on this.
Okay, stuff. So we were up riding. Link's new to riding. Didn't we call that tail drag, right? Like on a trailer when you cut a corner a little bit too early. Yeah. So he was cutting the corners kind of. You know what's funny is what I'll get to this one in a minute. So he was cutting the corners a little bit sharp, and he hooked his brake pedal on a tree stump.
Yeah.
And just wrapped it up around the foot peg and snapped the bolt. And it was
already broken foot peg.
Yeah. And funny because the top of the foot peg had what kind of pegs were those? The
Fast impact pegs.
Fast impact. Okay. Oh, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somehow that whole thing got sheared off.
Those pegs are so roached.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I wanted to ask him if he knew that it was missing.
He didn't notice.
He noticed his brake. He noticed his brake pedal wasn't where it was supposed to be. That's because his foot peg was missing the whole top part of it, and then the brake pedal got
foot peg.
Yeah, and then the brake pedal ended up behind the foot peg. So it was one of those days. But that's not all.
No.
But wait, there's more.
But that's when it started, though. When he wrapped that foot peg around, which I can't imagine how they're connected. It just can't be.
Impact
Knock.
So Well, remember when we were looking at the battery and stuff, and I said this wire doesn't go here, the one that kind of went between the gas tank mount and the frame, and it was getting smashed. And I said, oh, this shouldn't be here. Well, that was in the wire sheet thing, and you couldn't see it. But I suspect that maybe there's some other wires around in there, and it just the impact probably went. So that was probably he's a strong dude. And,
he's a thick dude,
and he whacked that thing, and it probably stopped really instantly when the brake pedal got smashed and locked up for that moment. It just went right.
Mm-hmm.
And something got shook really hard. Wire, obviously a fuse blew someplace in there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So maybe a wire pinched or shorted or whatever, but the fuel pump would only stay on if you touched the start button. Like so there was something that the fuel pump wasn't running, but it wasn't like it, because it would just shut off. It wouldn't just kind of, it wouldn't run on a little bit. Like usually when it's a fuel pump, it'll sort of lose power for a few strokes or rotations. Did make sense. But we could keep it running by tapping the start button, and which is really hard to do, especially where his start button was, because it was a long reach for my little finger to or whichever side it was on to tap that and kind of keep doing the throttle. And since there was no rear brake, I had to use the front brake and it was on the same side as the throttle, front brake, and start button all at once. And over this side, I'm not doing anything, just covering the clutch. I ended up riding his bike. I just figured it was better that I rode it out. Because it was because we had to because he killed the battery trying to get it to start because it wouldn't start, and then we switched. So we went through this thing. So we switched. First we used Jimmy's battery to jump the other one. We got it started and running, and it would shut off, start running, shut off. Looked around, couldn't figure it out. Found a burnt fuse. Switched that. Same thing. So we figured, okay, maybe the battery's just dead. So we switched the battery out, and we put the dead battery in Jimmy's bike with a capacitor on it that I carry in case, because the bikes don't run without with a dead battery. So we jumped Jimmy's bike with a capacitor on it so it stay running, charge that battery. We hope to charge that battery up, said, go ride. We think we can get this one running, which we didn't. So I tried to ride. It didn't work, but I was coasting after when it stalled and the battery was dead. I was coasting behind the hill, and that cutting the turns, I saw that because I was trying to keep as much speed as I could around the turn. I let him get way ahead of me. I caught up to him coasting, and I ran into the back of him because he stopped at a turn, and I'm like, no, because it was getting down to the flats, and I wanted to carry a little speed.
Which it's funny because I spotted he was doing it like he was putting his front tire in the rut, which leaves
or maybe even inside of the rut, like he tried to avoid it. Yeah,
that rut's kind of made by the back tire when it's right up there. And then I was like, oh, I need to tell him not to do that because he's new. And I go, I needed to tell him that. Okay. And then one turn, two turn, bang, and I went, oh God.
So we figured that bike was dead, so we towed it out, and we still don't know what we don't know what the thing is. So anyways, my two strikes are, like, I do this with people, like, you get, you have a mistake, but when you do that, when the same thing happens twice, like the third strike's catastrophic for you. And I wasn't too cranky, was I?
I don't think so.
Just medium cranky. Yeah. Because I really wanted to go finish that trail.
I know.
I did too.
That thing just kept getting better.
So, but we towed him out, and I only crashed twice from the towing. I got drugged into the ground from towing, but good time. So you don't want to. So he can't break his bike again. He can't break his bike when he goes riding with me again, because next time I'll probably just leave him.
Just won't even.
Then I don't have to worry about riding with him because he won't want to ride with me. So I wasn't too bummed, but
no, it was still fairly enough.
Yeah, maybe a new bike will fix that, but I want to know what the problem is, because we couldn't. I will. So the first time the carburetor, remember, the carburetor popped off. Yeah. It backfired, and you couldn't even tell because that carburetor so tucked in there, it actually popped off the intake manifold. And we tried to get it started and tried all these things and killed the battery again and did all this. And then
visual. Yeah,
and then we finally stopped and really took a look at it when we got to the place, like, we need to make this thing run. And we looked at it and popped the car back in and like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. That bike's a pile of shit.
It has got to go.
Yeah, I got to say bad things about betas now. We said nice things about them all night.
It's an old one. It's a 2015.
Right.
It's been
It looks like it's been run through the ringer.
Yeah, it's got some million hours on it.
Here's the question. We've got 4 more questions, then we're going to cancel this show. It's going to be canceled. Taco Tuesday YOLO boys.
What's it? Zabowski.
Yeah. Flying Brian, how was your speedway ride? My speedway ride?
Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
Oh, when I was doing laps the other day, when my wife beat me.
Oh yeah, what's up with that, man?
I was going for lap times. I was really working on lap times, and it didn't work.
It shows.
It didn't work. My wife beat me. What does B Mecco want to know?
Do you think Yamaha will do any YZ updates based on Cody Webb's bike builds?
I'm pretty sure that Yamaha is. I mean, the fact that they've got, they put Caleb Russell on a bike in the GNCCs. They've got Cody Webb doing the extreme enduros and stuff. They're obviously interested in this off-road segment. I mean, they're probably seeing in their sales that they're selling a fair amount of bikes, and they're probably looking at things that they could do. I don't think it takes Cody Webb to tell Yamaha that they need an electric start and they could use, I don't know. I'm torn on the carburetor thing. I mean, I hate carburetors. I hate carburetors just because you have to work on them every once in a while. It's a maintenance item compared to fuel injection for me.
Agreed.
But we have a special caller on the show. Hold on a second. Please hold. Yeah, please hold. So I don't think, did my phone just die? No, it's still here. I don't, back to the carburetor thing. I don't think they run. I mean, I don't think the bikes run way better with or without carburetors. It's a different characteristic and stuff.
Sure.
But so, and they know what's out there, but I'm sure that they're using that information and thinking about it.
They're using it. They don't need Cody Webb, but
hey, Trevor, in all of your testing, does Yamaha have a fuel injected electric start 250 2-stroke and 300 2-stroke yet?
No comment.
Okay. The Fanic is that it's basically a Yamaha fuel injected electric start.
Yeah.
What about a 350 4-stroke? You haven't seen that run around?
No comment.
No comment. Okay. So you had somebody call into the show for you to answer questions because you couldn't do it. Who's this guy? Rowan.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. He's our new test rider.
He's part of the DBT winning 40 plus expert team at the 10-hour this last weekend.
40 plus expert team.
Yes.
Did they beat Logan?
Yeah.
I believe so. I mean, Logan was riding solo, I think. So I am assuming that I think they might have lost to TJ though.
Oh, TJ beat him.
Maybe. It was pretty close if it did.
Did you see TJ sweet Willie off the start line?
Oh, I saw it all.
Have you been teaching him? Have you been teaching him how to start?
No, but he was trying to chat up a storm while we're riding down pit row one of the laps.
Oh,
Yeah.
he can't help himself. Have you seen his new tattoo?
I have not.
He's got a tattoo. You know what it says? What do you think, Trevor? What do you think TJ's tattoo would say?
I'm scared to even think about what it might say.
No, it's actually you would totally know. Like, what does that kid like more than anything else?
Dirt bikes, maybe.
That's exactly what it says. That's exactly. And here's the best part. Here's the best part of it. I think he hiccuped when the guy was working on the S at the very end, and it's a little bit crooked. But so he's gonna get another tattoo. You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna say dirt bikes. That's what he told me. All the kids are getting tattoos. You got any, Trevor?
Not yet.
I'm gonna tattoo. Well, when I go to prison, I'm gonna tattoo myself, and I'm gonna tattoo Hodaka on my knuckles. And since I was gonna do Husaberg instead, but I don't have enough fingers. But But the problem is, since I'm right-handed, I know this from reading a really good story that Charlie Williams wrote a book about. It was called Tattoo, by the way. I would start on my left knuckles. I would start writing there, and then the letters would get really bad because I would have to use my left hand to write on my right knuckles. But then when I go to put my fingers together, like one of those ballers that goes like this, and I'm putting my knuckles together, I'd realize, oh wait, I have to go like this to spell it the right way because I did it wrong.
Baller.
You should just get some gold rings made up.
Husaberg on the maybe, yeah. I wonder if I can get those. I wonder if I can get those on Amazon. So
Timu?
Yeah, Timu probably has them. So how did you guys finish?
We won the overall this past weekend.
Oh, yeah. They didn't have a 10-hour back in my day. They had a 12-hour, but if they would have had a 10-hour, I would have won it. Did you make any money?
I'm not sure if there's a purse, but I might have made a little bit of money for my services for Husky. So I didn't lose money, that's for sure.
Okay, you didn't have to pay an entry, and you got a day rate.
Yep.
Oh, good for you. How was the bike?
Bike was pretty solid. Actually kind of impressive. I'm sure you know. Usually in endurance races, especially riding a two-stroke, by the end of the race, I mean, it's only 10 hours. It's not crazy, but still, two strokes, they seem to rattle, some vibration. They start making some weird noises, whatnot. But the bike was pretty solid from start to finish, and there's a slight suspension fade by the last rotation, which is pretty normal for how much it's working out there. But other than that, the bike was really, really solid. So
how many riders on the team? 3?
Just three, yeah.
Logan has a question for you.
Okay.
Which is
Ask him to ride the bike.
to ride the 3. Oh,
yeah. Come on, Logan. Logan's thinking about getting a 2-stroke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly a Husky or gas, whatever you can drum up on
Which one
Austria.
would I buy? Or
Sure.
Which one can I?
Oh no, he's trying to be a test rider. He wants to test one out, like a 300 2-stroke. You know anybody?
we have a gas 300 in the fleet right now.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Logan could put some time on it.
He should come out. I can meet him at Glen Helen or the desert or somewhere. I can meet him somewhere.
On Thursday?
Not this Thursday.
Not this Thursday? Okay.
Not Thursday or something. Tuesday, Thursday.
I gotta ride that Triumph 450, so maybe we'll make a trip down there. I'll see if I can get him to call in sick. I'll tell him how to call in sick to work.
So he's got important things to do, and that's test dirt bikes.
Yeah, he's got to sell a lot of doors to support his dad and the lifestyle he's become accustomed to.
The doors are just a front to play with dirt bikes.
Okay, yeah, I got sponsored by Las Vegas Woodworks Frame and Door. Whatever.
They're just a front.
I have the same sponsor as TJ, but a much better win record.
You're teammates. You guys are teammates.
Yeah, I know. Blue Crew. Both riding those Yamaha 450s and slaying it. I only got beat by 2 girls. So, anyways, any other updates for us, Trevor?
I'm gearing up for the Big Bear Dual Sport race.
Is it really next weekend?
It's already next weekend, yeah.
Like this coming weekend?
No, the 20th or the 21st or.
Oh, I'm busy. Yeah.
Week and a half.
I have a
Dudak prepped the XT 150 or XR 150 for you, so you got to show up.
He did.
You said you have one already that you have to give back.
I know.
In the back, so now you have to ride the Dual Sport.
What day is that? Is it on Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I could do it on Sunday. I might be a little hungover, but I could still do it. You want to do it a second time? Well, you know what? Do it on Saturday, and I'll give me your time and just give me the track log, and I'll come out and smoke you on Sunday. So, okay, what do you do? You're doing it. You're dissing our main sponsor, Yamaha, and going and riding a Honda.
Well, Timu doesn't make an exhaust for a Yamaha XT, so I had to ride the Honda.
Did you really get a Timu exhaust?
I have it. I there's a couple things. One, it doesn't run very good with it.
No.
Shockingly. And then two, the fitment is off. So I need to have my friend cut the tab off the muffler and re-weld it half-inch over so it'll bolt on.
That's a lot.
You know, I did a video. There's a video someplace on the YouTubes about I got one of those mufflers.
Yeah, got the Lexon or something.
No, the Lex one is a Rocky Mountain one that bolted right on. It was one for a CRF 250, and it literally looked like a pro circuit muffler. And
looks like an FMF.
Yeah, and I actually went to a pro circuit muffler and I took the end cap off and put it back on because it was too loud, and so I had a quiet insert for a pro circuit and I put it on. So
I want it loud because loud means extra power, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
And I need all the power I can get for Big Bear.
Right.
Our story idea for this year, Jimmy. Is does size matter?
Well, that's a good if I was just looking to see how many I'm trying to look to see where's our channel content here. I'm trying to see how many views that video has.
I think it's got to be close to 100,000 or 90,000 by now.
Yeah, is our number one rated video?
In the last year, probably.
Yeah.
Not last year, but.
Well, I'm trying to step down, so you just keep putting those videos up. Does size matter on your motorcycle? So who's racing this dual sport ride with you?
It's going to be me and Tyler Belknap, and he's going to ride a Honda 450 RL.
Oh.
Because I beat him last year. And so he thinks he needs more power, more suspension, X-Trig, A-kit suspension. He needs all
the stuff.
All the stuff to beat me this year. So
I'm glad you guys are upholding that tradition of being not very good at racing, so you have to go pick on dual sport riders. They're dual sport racers, not dual sport riders. He's Tyler. We're gonna put a dry brake on his bike, a whole shot device.
The whole shot's great.
Yeah.
He's real serious.
Well, are you serious or are you joking?
I mean, he was asking what parts I have that will fit on it.
Oh boy.
Dry brake,
Yeah.
I happen to have a whole shot device. I've got a pro circuit exhaust, JCR spec. I've got lots of stuff.
That sounds horrible. Yeah. Okay. Just put a spark arrestor on. I don't want you to burn Big Bear down.
But I'm good with quite possibly a T-Mule exhaust. We'll see.
You make sure you have this. Make sure you have the stock one, the stock exhaust, someplace close by.
I will 100%.
Yeah.
The T-Mule might just be for photos, and then the actual ride I might have to put the stock. We'll see.
Yeah.
Gotta do some testing for the Big Bear run. Can't go into blind support fields.
Sounds good. Okay, Trevor. Thanks for the update. We'll see you soon. Let me know when Logan come and get that bike.
He can't take it, but he can ride it.
Oh, he can't take it. Who'd you give it to?
Huh?
Who'd you give it to?
No one. No one's getting the thing.
Oh, I want it. I'm taking it.
You can come ride it. You can put a tank of gas through it.
Oh, that's easy. Okay. Well, sounds good, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. I'll
See you, Trevor. That was Trevor Hunter, a dirt bike test ace dual sport racer.
Dual sport.
Yeah. Yeah. He got 8th place at the dual sport race last year, and is going back to do better this year on a modified bike this time. So good luck to Trevor. Logan, Joe says go for the 300. So I think you should go ride it and then decide. Mm-hmm. And then we can probably.
I think he's going to find he likes 450s more again.
We can find
a 300.
Yeah, we can find a 250 also someplace. I'm pretty sure. So, okay, everybody, that's another show with 0 drop frames, which probably means my computer's not actually working right.
I don't know what a frame is, but I'm glad
it's when it glitches and does all that stuff. We know the sound's delayed, and I tried to fix that earlier. And I'm going to try to get a thing. The tequila choice for tonight was the clear-cut winner. Milagro was actually really good. That used to be my favorite silver, But I'll tell you what, the El Padrino was not bad. The Blanco, I don't think it's going to go the way of mixed drinks. I think it's going to stay as a sipper.
I agree.
Yeah. So with that, if you own a tequila company, send me all your proposals. We'll take it and drink it. Logan, nice to see you back again.
Yeah. Good to be back.
You said 20% more words than the last time I think you were here, which is an improvement.
Yeah, you had me reading a bunch of questions.
Yeah, the reading really hasn't improved though, because you got to work on that. Yeah, it's okay, but you're out of school now, so just consistent dum-dum, just fake it. So I've done it my whole life. If you're looking for some fun in Vegas, go to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame Gene Woods Go-Kart Racing Experience on Fremont Street. Try to beat my time. If you email me, I can probably get you a little discount code for that thing. And if you beat me, I will mention you on the show. Just take a picture of your lap time being faster than my lap time, and then you'll know why I'm this guy here. So I don't like to talk about myself too much, but there we go. Yeah, champion of champions.
What is that?
Did you go last year? The Hall of Fame thing? You didn't see me dominate all those legends? Yeah. 2 years in a row. Yeah, I know. Just pop these things out like cordwood. Okay, starting to get to be boat season, so we'll see you. Good to see Logan and Pop. Yeah, good to see everybody. Cheers. We'll see you out in the trail. And I got to figure out how to set this stupid show down. If you liked what you saw in this video, come check us out over at dirtbiketest.com on the webs. We have bike tests, product tests, a lot of fresh dirt, and you can even support us by clicking through our links. Hopefully, we'll see you out in the trail.